Hello, guys. Welcome back again with a new day of 21 days interview preparedness challenge, and we are back again with a set of new questions. So, without wasting any time, let's just get into the questions. So, start from Amit. So, Amit, your question is, what are the hooks and why we use hooks in React? What are the hooks and why we use hooks in React?
Okay. Yeah. So in React, yes, understood.
You can turn on your video so that
So
your
in React is actually provides a lot of hooks which actually help the developer. Okay, sure. Yeah, so in React, there are a lot of hooks that we can use to optimize or that we can use to basically work with React. So Reactly inbuilt provides a lot of hooks like the use state hook or use effect hook or use context hook. So basically, these are tools that React provides to work with it. Like for if we talk about use state hook, so it is used to basically manage the state of individual components. And on the other side, if we talk about use effect hook, so we have a lot of operations that we can that we need to perform to which deals with fetching the data from outside world, like from a server or from other computers or file reading input output as well. So those operations takes time. So to handle that asynchronicity, we use effect. And on the other hand, we have use context. So it is basically used for managing the global state. So we have a state we can the state that is shared across all the components. So just to manage those global state, we have use context. Similarly, we have our other hooks like use ref and use memo, use callback hooks. So those are hooks which are provided to developers by React just to make life easier, and it doesn't require much coding. It's just there to help us.
Okay, you are totally correct. So basically, hooks are a new addition in React 16.8, and with the help of hooks, they allows us to use a state and other React features without writing a class. So this is the additional feature that React provides us. Now it's time for Mahin. So Mahin, your question is, what are the pure components? What are the pure
Okay,
components?
okay. Pure component. Pure component is it's a component that that don't take any like props. I think so. I know HOC. Pure component are HOC. Is that
No,
similar?
it's different from
Hello.
HOC. Yeah, it's different from HOCs.
Um. Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello.
Am I audible?
Hello. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead with your answer.
So yeah, I don't have idea about pure components. Can you please
Okay, I'll change the question for you. So your next question is, if Node.js is a single-threaded language, then how it handles uh, currencies, concurrencies? If Node.js is a
okay.
single-threaded language, then how it handles concurrencies?
Okay, by default, Node.js is a single threaded, but by using some features, we can make it a multi-threaded. So Node.js is using event-driven programming language. So in that, there is a event loop concept. So and we have a asynchronous programming. For example, when we are doing some async process, so we have to make that function async. So in that async, it will perform event-driven using the event loop. So this is how Node.js handle multi-threaded operations.
Okay, you are correct. Now it's time for Santosh. So Santosh, your question is, how does React works? Just explain the entire workflow of React. How does React works?
Okay, so am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So in the React works using the virtual DOM to the efficiency of managing the UI. UI update. So when the state or the props changes to the React component, uh, uh, React compared to the new virtual DOM to previous virtual DOM. So it happens to updating only the changes, the parts of the real DOM using the process. It's called yeah. It's using to the reconciliations, and that's a use for the React work. So that's it.
Okay, you are totally correct. So we have successfully completed our first round. Now it's time for second round, starting from Amit. So Amit, your question is same as Mahin's previous question. What are pure components? What are pure components?
Yeah, fine. What are pure components? So we have pure functions, just like pure functions. A pure function is a function when called with same parameters or same arguments, it always produces the same results. Similarly, for pure components. So while making components, we use props. So that can be used with different data. So just like a pure function, whenever to a pure component, when we pass similar kind of props, it just generate a similar kind of component, like it results in a similar component. It doesn't differs when we pass different props. So that's it. A pure component is just like a pure function when invoked with a similar props or similar parameters. It just results in a similar component.
Okay, you are correct, but you are not totally correct. So I'll rephrase the answer again. So basically, pure component is exactly same as pure component is exactly same as component, except that it handles the sort component update method for you. Uh, the basic difference between a component and pure component is when props and state changes, pure component will do a shallow comparison on both prop and state. On the other hand, component on the other hand won't compare current prop and state to the next out of the box. Thus, the component will re-render by default whenever component update is called. So basically, it will create a shallow comparison on both props and state. This is called pure component. On the other hand, the component won't compare props and the state. Okay. So now it's time for Mahin again. So Mahin, your question is how to avoid callback hell in Node.js.
Yes. So
How to
callback has is yes, yes. We have a promises in JavaScript, or I can say Node.js. So by using promises, we can control over the and we can avoid the callback hand, because callback hands are unreadable and totally like not unrealistic thing. We have to just call back inside a call in another function. It's like a pyramid of callbacks. So it's so we have a promises, so we can use.
hello.
Yes, yes, I completed.
Okay, but maybe you are not totally correct. So I'll pass this question to Santosh. The same question. How to avoid callback hells in Node.js. Hello, Santosh.
Yeah, it's the same question. So what is the
The
callback?
exact, the
Call help.
exact
Sorry.
same question. How
Okay,
do
okay,
how to avoid callback hells in Node.js?
okay. How to avoid the callback? Okay, okay. So in a Node.js, in a callback hell in a callback hell to the uh, callback hell updating to the uh, callback hell updating to the last mm, 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 like a PDM not what is avoiding the Node.js. Okay, so okay. Just give me 1 second. Just I will figure out the question. Actual callback hell
Take your
in a
time.
Node.js. Okay. So yeah, done. So in a callback hell in Node.js, the use of promises replace the nested callbacks within using dot then and dot catch to better readability. So if you uh, the callback hell to change the using the change, or you can say that the using the asynchronous or asynchronous or await. We write a asynchronous code and the synchronous styles and the uh, yes, and the last I add at some point. So the callback held to the control flow library to like a asynchronous JS can be simplify the complex flow work. So that is the callback held in a Node.js.
Okay. Now it's time for Amit. So the same question is to you also. And your question is how to avoid callback hells in Node.js. This is the basic question, and you need to tell about what are the callback hells and how like callback hell developed and what are the solution of callback hells.
Yeah, understood. So callback hell, as name implies, is a loop of callback functions, one inside the another. So it is basically used when we want to fetch something or do some operations that takes time, so that when the results came, the result came, we need to handle that result by another function. So that's why we use these kind of callback functions one after the another. But when the situation getting worse, we had to use, like, if you are using callback function to handle the asynchronous operation, then you it might be that might be a point when you will be using callback help, callback functions one right into the another, and it leads to a very deep. So this situation where you are using callback functions right inside another and then inside another callback, so this functions where we have nested callbacks one after the another, this is a callback hell. So it basically very dirty. It gets very dirty because there are two reasons. When a callback hell results in an error, so it is very difficult for a programmer to debug it, because to debug a callback hell would be very time consuming, because you need to go through each callback function and debug all of them. So it is very time consuming, and it is also very unfamiliar to read. Like, it is callback functions and a lot of them. So it takes a lot of time for a developer to read and to debug those. So instead of that, we use dot async await. So async await is a function. Async await is a method by which we can actually handle this. We use promises as well. Instead of using callback functions, we use promise to deal with fetching data or some server related tasks. So promise is there, and with promise we have dot then and dot catch. Like, when the result came, we can catch it using dot then, and when it results in an error, so we can catch it using dot catch. And also we can use async await. Async await is a ES6 syntax with which we can use it on a simple function by using async await. Like, we can add async before a function and make it asynchronous, so that when the function gets the data, we can catch it using await. So await just make sure that we wait for the result. So yeah, this is the callback hell, and two ways, promises and async await are the two ways through which we can deal with callback hells.
Okay. So you all guys are correct. So I'll rephrase the answer again. So basically, there are multiple solutions by which we can address callback help problem. So make sure that your program should be modular, use async await mechanism, use promise mechanism, and use generators so that you can like solve the problem of callback health. So now it's time for Maheen again. So Maheen, your question is how Node.js prevents blocking of code. How Node.js prevents blocking of code. Hello Maheen, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so your
Can
question
you please
is,
repeat?
yeah,
Sorry for network issue.
your question is
Mm-hmm.
how Node.js prevents blocking of code. How Node.js prevents blocking of code.
Blocking of code or non-blocking input output operation.
Did you understand the question? The question is how Node.js prevents blocking
I
of.
understand that
Okay.
block, blocking of. Okay. So basically, the question is the how Node.js prevent the
Blocking of
blocking next.
code.
Blocking of code. Okay, because Node.js is a single threaded. So where it will wait when first task will done, then it will go to the next task. So this is the what by default nature of the Node.js. It uses because it's a single threaded. So that's why it's blocked. But also we can perform the non-blocking operations using the async await and using multi-threaded and non-blocking input output operation of the Node.js. We have a features also we can use it and make it non-blocking, but by default it's a blocking because of its nature. So it what I this is what I know.
Okay, I'll rephrase your answer again. So basically, the question is how Node.js prevents blocking of code. So by providing callback functions get called whenever corresponding event triggers. So by providing callback functions, Node.js prevents blocking of code. Okay. So
Okay.
now it's time for Santosh again. So Santosh, your question is what is the entire process of reconciliation? You are mute, Santosh.
So what is the reconciliation?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So reconciliation. Reconciliation is the uh, uh, to debug the code and the to debug the code to the J6, basically using the uh, basically using for the you may say that the real DOM to virtual DOM. So uh, if the virtual DOM changes to the changes or updating anything, so you can change to the real DOM. That is the reconciliation in the that is the reconciliations. So that's it.
Okay. So yeah, you answered right, but you are not uh give entire answer properly in a structured way. So now it's time for again. This is we have completed over 3 rounds of the meet. Now this is the last and final round. So start from Amit again. So Amit, your question is, what do you mean by asynchronous APIs? What do you mean by
Yeah.
asynchronous APIs?
Yes, what do we mean by asynchronous APIs? So as we know that Node.js is a single thread. I mean, JavaScript is a single threaded language. That is, it goes line by line, and it only goes to the next line only when unless and once the first line is executed. That's the nature of JavaScript. But as we deal with a lot of operation in our day-to-day life, which requires an asynchronous operation. That is, we want to execute the next line even before the first line is executed. So this is where we need asynchronicity in JavaScript. So JavaScript comes with different concepts which helps us implementing this. JavaScript has different things, like it has web APIs like set timeouts, set intervals, and other APIs that work asynchronously. We have fetch API as well that also works according to this. So what does it? What it does is when it hits an operation which takes time, so we actually enclose those operations inside asynchronous API. Like if some block of code is taking time, we actually use promises for that, or we use async function. And yeah, these functions make sure that JavaScript doesn't block. It just go through the other processes the until our first function gets the result. So once we get the result, we actually integrate those results into our application. So this is how JavaScript makes sure that we somehow manages asynchronicity into our JavaScript, although JavaScript is a synchronous, or we can say single-threaded operation. So we have different APIs like set timeout, set interval, fetch API, and other web APIs.
Okay, so you are correct. I'll rephrase the answer again. So the question is, what do you mean by asynchronous API? So uh, answer of the question is basically all the APIs of Node.js library are asynchronous in nature. We can say non-blocking in nature. It essentially means a Node.js based server never waits for a API to return the data. Server moves to the next API after calling it, and a notification mechanism of event of Node.js helps server to get response from the previous API call. So all the APIs in Node.js server are uh, asynchronous by in nature. Okay, so moving to the next contestant is Maheen. So my new question is, what are props in React? What are props in React?
Okay. So in React, if we want to transfer the data in components, for example, I have a parent component and I want to transfer some data to its child component. So here I will use props. So basically, the definition of props is transferring data one component to another. It's called as a prop. So through props, we can transfer the data. So this is the what.
Okay. Yeah, you are totally correct. Now it's time for Santosh. So Santosh, your question is, what are the data flow in, like, how data flows in React? What are the data flow of React?
Okay. So in how does the data flow in a React? Okay. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 yes. You are audible.
Okay, okay, okay. So in a React, the data the passing the data in a JSX file using the use state or the use effect. Uh, okay, so data flow. Uh, okay,
Basically,
so
you just need to tell the data flow of React. How data flows in React.
how data flow the React. Uh, okay, data. Just give me 1 second. I will revise my answer.
Okay, take your time.
Data flow in React. In React, so data flow is basically used to the not no. I don't know the answer. Actual answer.
Okay, no worries. So
No,
basically in
no.
React, okay, no worries. I'll tell you. So the basically in React, data flows from parent to its child component. We can get the data by using props, or we can also use context API to get the data from different components. And this is the this is the normal use of data flow in React. So normally data flows from parent to child, but if you want to, one cross question here is also, like, normally data flows from parent to child, but if we want data from child to parent, can we do this, the reverse mechanism? Can we get the data from child to parent?
Yes, yes, yes. It's a it's a hook. Not it's a hook. It's a function to I remember the name of the hooks is to passing the data direct child to parents. Okay, in React. So if you are passing any data, so you can use the uh, border or the passing to the child to the parents is uh
Okay, anybody can
yeah.
answer this question. Can we pass data from child to parent? Or if yes, that what is the like how can we pass data from child to parent? Okay, Amit, you can go ahead.
So, as we know that React is a unique, I mean, React has a very unique flow direction of data. That is, data can only be passed from parent to child by using props, which are read-only properties. Like we cannot change the data in between. Whatever data we have, we just pass it to the child components, and child component accepts the data, and according to that, it just updates its UI, its state. And data cannot be passed from a child to a parent because React doesn't allow that. But instead of that, what we can do is we can actually pass the events. Like if we have a container, and inside that container we have a button that has some count. So so data can only be, I mean, that count variable can only be passed from that container to that button, but button can actually pass the events that triggers the count change. Let's say we have an on click event on the button, and we can pass that event using props only. So we pass that event from button to the parent component accepts that event, it changes the data in the parent inside, and then that data can be passed to the button. So here we can see that button can actually triggers the event change, which basically results in the data change. So all in all, data can only be passed from parent to child, but child can trigger some state change so that parent can change the data and again pass it to the children.
Okay, guys. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct, Amal. Basically, the data flows in React from parent to child. This is the normal flow of data in React. But in some cases, we can pass the data or get the data from child to its parent object also by implementing callback function in it and calling that callback function. We can pass the data from child to its parent. So yeah, we have successfully conducted our this day of interview preparedness challenge also. So this is one homework for you guys. Just pass the data from child to parent. And one more thing, can we also pass the data from child to its child, or we can say siblings. So do this by your own. Do some practice on it. We will meet you guys from tomorrow with a new set of questions. Till then, keep healthy, keep learning. Bye bye, guys.